Andrew Jacked and Michal Krizo. This is truly a clash of the titans. As you may or may not know, Andrew Jacked, he just won his pro card this past weekend at the Arnold's Classics Amateur, and Michal Krizo, still a holdout. He's holding out. He's in the IFBB Elite League. Now, both of these guys were in that league and outside of the IFBB. And I actually did a comparison between these two guys. And it was basically the winner is probably the best bodybuilder that's not in the IFBB. I mean, let's face it, guys. As good as you are in other places, you have to go to the IFBB Pro League to see how you stack up against the best of the best. Otherwise, with all due respect to Krizo and even Andrew Jacked, they were basically defeating the same guys over and over again, and really there's no prestige in that. But without further ado, let's have a look at how these two guys size up against each other and who would be more of a threat on the Olympia stage if Michal Krizo does in fact make his way to the IFBB. And I think when Andrew Jacked made his way over, I think Michal Krizo took his sunglasses, pulled them down, and looked at the screen and thought, maybe I'll join too. They size up very well. I like Krizo, his wheels, and maybe the arms, although Andrew Jack's biceps are just ginormous, huge. Appears as a little bit more muscle separation maybe for Krizo. And like I said, the arms are good for both guys. Better forearms, maybe better calves for Krizo. But one thing Jacked has going for him is a much more aesthetically pleasing look. He is a true work of art. Better set of abs. And really, guys, the gentleman with the better set of abs is usually the more aesthetic bodybuilder. Now, in the front lat spread, you'll notice this is a different version of Krizo. Couldn't find a full-length body, or actually any front lat spreads from his previous performance. I believe it was the Mr. Universe, but for the most part I'm using pictures from the Arnold, Europe. Now the front lat spread, Andrew Jacked, he is a diamond, not so much in the rough. Just a few things he needs to clean up. Maybe the condition, the muscle separation in his arms need to be a little bit better. I mean, especially when you look at Krizo. He's winning in that aspect. But look how filled out Andrew Jacked is. He's like a great big sail. Or, no. He's a king cobra. That's what he is. Just massive. It's huge. I would give him the front lat spread. Although Krizo, like I said, winning in certain aspects. Muscle separation, things of that nature. Turn to the side. Now this is a Krizo game. And you may notice I sized them incorrectly. Some people would say so. He bends down at the knees, does Michal. And Andrew Jacked stands tall in this one. Actually, Jacked, if he had a little bit more pec size, and like I said earlier, a little bit more muscle separation in the arms, I would give him this one because he's standing up nice and tall. But make no mistake about it. Michal Krizo has Arnold Schwarzenegger type pecs, and he does, in fact, have good muscle separation in those pipes. Wow. Go to the next side shot. And this is more form-fitting to Andrew Jack's physique. He throws the midsection in there. Looks good. Krizo, I think if he cleaned this up a little bit, he could have an outstanding side tricep pose. Because look at the meat itself. I mean, Jacked. He's jacked. He has a lot of meat back there too. But look at the little bit of striations in Michal Krizo. Just better condition overall. So if we're judging these two physiques, it's structure versus condition, and the judges are going to give it to condition. Because both structures are awesome. Let's have a look at the backs, because this is where it counts. Now, Jacked, these guys are hitting the poses at a totally different angle. Jack's holding his arms delts up, while Krizo holding his down, showing off the traps a little bit more. I think that Jacked, honestly, he has more impact in the shot. Seen some comments, you guys don't like his back. Some of you people. I think it has a lot of impact. I think Krizo's maybe lacks lower lat insertions. it's not as symmetrical, not as clean, not as neat as Andrew Jacked. But that's not it. Krizo wins because he's in better condition. That's the thing. That's bodybuilding. But a thing like that can be fixed. It's a small layer of water that makes Andrew Jack look a little too smooth. Too smooth, monsoon. Too smooth. Go to the rear double. And this is the same, in my estimation. Krizo leans back here quite far. And it maybe creates some lat insertions. But Andrew Jacked, he just flexes, and his lat insertions just pop. Boom. Both guys, these are four of the best arms showing in the rear double bicep. And like I said earlier, I think it's a better pose for Andrew Jacked. Hands down. Not period, though. Comma. Michal Krizo still wins because of conditioning. And not only in the glutes, hamstrings, but even in the traps. You can see the muscle fibers of this Michal Krizo. And this is how a guy like Dorian Yates won his competition. He was twice as hard, twice as grainy, or won his competitions, I should say, his many competitions. But Andrew Jacked, guys, he did enough to win the show, which leads me to believe he knew what type of condition he needed to bring on that night. So, in my estimation, he can more than improve what he brought here, and if he does match condition with Michal Krizo, he will beat him in both back shots. Not as is, though, abs and thigh. And see, when you turn around, the condition edge is not that obvious, and that's why they say, back or shows are won from behind, because it's very exposing to the condition. You do look at the wheels, and you can get in, you can kind of tell that Krizo's in better condition, but then you look at the abs, and it would lead you to believe that Andrew Jacked is more than a match for Michal Krizo. And actually, in several of the shots, I would definitely give it to Andrew Jacked. But as a whole, you go to the most muscular. It's a good shot for both guys. But as a whole, the overall condition of Michal Krizo would more than be enough to get him an edge against this version of Andrew Jacked. He obviously knows he needs a little bit more thickness in the pecs. If that were the case, it would be overwhelming how many shots he would win against Michal Krizo. And that condition, that thin layer of wah-wah, chicka-wah-wah. But as is, taking nothing away from Krizo, he is your winner in this matchup. But still, guys, I cannot wait to see him in the IFBB Pro League. Krizo, come on, Krizo. Andrew Jack did it. You're next, buddy boy. Hit thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, because it helps greatly. Of course, my goal now is to get 100,000 subscribers, but then after that, far beyond. Have a great day.